Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。Like what? Like implicit bias. That's a new one to me, I said, wondering if it was similar to being woke. Injustice. Alert to injustice in society, especially racism. August explained. Implicit bias is prejudice a person shows without even realizing it. Like when a company rejects a resume because it has a black-sounding name, even when everything else without the resume fits the job. That's terrible, I said. It's not just a race. There was a time when symphony orchestras wouldn't pick women, said they didn't sound as good. Then they started doing blind auditions when only the music was judged. Suddenly, women began being chosen for the symphony right and left. I'm not surprised, I said. I told her how, as a woman, I'd been witness to sexism more times than I could count. Well, if you were a minority, you'd notice racism too. I've been insulted, snubbed, rebuffed, ignored, or spurned disdainfully. Snubbed, ignored, talked down to, lectured, and treated differently from white people my whole life. But when you finally call out a microaggression, microaggression, state action or regarded as an instance of indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination against members of marginalized group such as a racial or ethnic minority. Microaggression. You are called a snowflake just to rub salt into the wound. If it happened every now and then, you might shake it off. But when it happens hundreds of times, it becomes a cancer. Sounds like you really studied this issue, I said. More than that, I've lived it. What do you do to pay the bills? Right now, I just work part-time at an outfit that refurbishes old computers and resells them. Outfit. For people. Group of people undertaking a particular activity together. That sounds complicated, I said. Working with hardware is actually pretty simple. The complexity comes with networking and programming. I'm learning to be an ethical hacker just on my own. With YouTube videos and books, it's not easy to learn that way, but it's efficient. I don't get distracted. Maybe you got that from your grandfather. His dedication to his art is amazing. He certainly made an impression on Freddie, who has offered to put on a show right here at Needless Necessities. Her expression turned skeptical. I don't know if that's good. That's a good idea. I can't bear to watch him be taken advantage of again. Here was my chance to play my BFF role. Freddie is everything honorable in the world, I said. He wouldn't do anything to harm a fellow artist, especially one he admires as much as your grandfather. I'll talk to my grandpa about it, she said. But the art show is the least of my worries right now. I've got to find a way to help Trent. She thought for a moment. Would you come with me to the jail to visit with him this afternoon? I just need to talk to him and judge for yourself. You just need to talk to him and judge for yourself that he didn't kill anybody. I'd never been to the city jail and didn't know if I really wanted to start. I knew I did not hold the sort of power August thought I did. I wasn't even sure how Daryl would feel about me stepping even further into his investigation territory. I looked across the table at the social justice champion in front of me. Maybe I could borrow some of Augustus' fight to uphold the promise I made to Wanda. Okay, I finally said, should we go to the jail together? One of the romantic poets I'd been reading, Lord Byron, wrote about a prisoner condemned sentenced to a particular punishment, especially death. Condemned to a dungeon with spiders and rats. Dungeon, strong underground prison cell. The Raleigh City Jail was not so unhygienic as that. Hygienic, not clean or sanitary. But one aspect did seem to mirror the experience of Byron's prisoner of prison Chillon. Dim with a dumb imprisoned ray, a sunbeam which has lost its way. It seemed the sunlight has denied the prisoners of every era. We checked in with the guard at the front desk, then waited in chairs outside a room on the other side of plexiglass. Outside the jail, I had asked August if she and her cousin were emotionally close. She confided, "He was a snot-nosed little terror to me all our growing up." So I asked her why she was going to such lengths to help him. Tell something about secret or private. It's what we women do for men, isn't it? We come to their rescue. After what seemed like forever, a guard brought Trent into the sealed-off room. The boy was slim and good-looking with medium-length dreadlocks and dreadlocks and the start of a beard. Dreadlocks. Rastafarian hairstyle in which the hair is washed but not combed and twisted while wet into the tight berries of ringlets hang down on all sides. Turn his orange jumpsuit red and he could easily be mistaken for a model in a Target commercial. August introduced us after a bit of small talk regarding Trent's cell. He had one cellmate, a quiet guy with a drug problem who slept all the time. I cut to the chase. "I don't have the power to let you out of jail, Trent," I said. "I'm just a normal citizen trying to get answers and find out who killed my neighbor. I didn't do it. Then if we can figure out who did, you'll be off the hook. Make sense?" "Yes, ma'am." "Go ahead," Augusta said to me. "Ask him whatever you want." I asked Trent if he'd ever met Wanda Hightower. "Yes, ma'am. Uncle Otis fixed her clothes dryer. I was with him." "When?" He shrugged. "Last week, like just a few days before Halloween." "Did you visit the house on Halloween?" "Be honest." "No, I wasn't anywhere near it, I swear." "You didn't visit the alleyway in the neighborhood?" "No, I swear I didn't." "The day you were there with Otis, how did you get into the house that day?" "Through the front door?" "Yeah. She let us in the front." "Was the glass in the front door broken?" I asked. "The police asked me that. It wasn't broken. Not that I remember." I tend to believe him, but if the glass had been broken, then Wanda certainly would have said something to her handyman there on the spot. "And then you went straight to the back of the house to work on the dryer?" "Yes, ma'am." "And you told the police you didn't explore any other part of the house?" "Yes." "But they found your fingerprints on the fireplace mantel, the one that looked like a dragon." Trent looked down at his hands. "I'm sorry, I touched it. Uncle Otis was testing out the dryer after we fixed it. and Mrs. Hightower was upstairs, and I just thought I'd have a closer look. He looked me in the eyes. If I was there killing her, why would my fingerprints be all over one scene but not other scenes? All over one scenes but not other scenes. I knew he could have touched the mental days earlier. Then wore gloves during the murder, but I sidestepped his question. 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。